Hello and welcome to the Join Dota League Season 3 here on HeflaTV 1. This is going to be a best of 2 series, I believe the only one for the night, and it's going to be between the House is Down and Esport Boreal, or as they're known on the Join Dota website, Armata Gaming. That said, I'm going to be one of your casters today. I'm Grandis V, and I will be joined by Mike Loris for this game.
What's up, guys? It's really nice of Boreal to go by so many names just to be nice and confusing to everyone. I love it when teams do that, but hopefully it shouldn't really matter because hopefully these two teams are going to be fairly equally matched, and that's always what I'm hoping for at the very least.
Yeah, for sure. As far as the servers are concerned for these games, the first game is going to be played on US East for sure. The second game, they're going to try it. I believe they're just going to go straight to US East because Boreal have quite a large array of where their people are from, and Brazil servers are very terrible for them. So the best compromise is US East, as they'd prefer to play in US West, and the House is Down would like to play on Brazil. Well, yeah, I think that pretty much sums up that. I've seen Armata play several times, but this roster looks a little bit different, although these are some fairly familiar names.
Yeah, I've definitely seen these players around before. I don't remember where exactly I've seen them, but I've definitely casted at least all of them at least once. So they've definitely been around for quite a while at the very least.
Yeah, for sure. Our first couple of bans coming out from the teams, we have Brewmaster, Tidehunter, Lycanthrope, Faceless Void taking out the first stage. No big surprises there. But that will leave things like the Razor and Shadow Shaman, Death Prophet still in the pool for these two teams to pick out of.
Yeah, it's really just run-of-the-mill bans. Like, at this point in the metagame, it's like, if you're not banning these heroes, then you're probably making some really big mistake. Like, right now, the House is down. Probably a Doom pick, I want to say, since you usually see Doom banned out first. He's a little bit more of a high priority.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, I wouldn't mind the Shadow Shaman first pick coming out from them either, but they'll go ahead and pick something completely different and go for the Viper. A lot of South American teams in particular do highly prioritize the Viper pick. Just being able to dominate one lane and then pick up an early mechanism for their team is something that they really like doing.
It's definitely a solid hero, though we normally see Viper being picked up on the second, sometimes even the third picking phase. Not to say that it's a bad hero to pick up first. It's a difficult hero to deal with, certainly, but again, there are more high priority heroes to take, like those heroes that are always first banned out, such as the Doom, Skywrath, Shadow Shaman, that type of hero.
Yeah, this is going to leave Armata pretty much the cream of the crop of whatever they want to pick up as their two. Razor's going to be the first pick, one of the heroes that can lane decently up against Viper, at least get some CS. And all around, just another solid hero that's going to be able to build a mechanism for his team, and later on, I would say he scales better than Viper, especially if you go for the Aghanim Scepter Refresher build with BKB. You can just mow down those towers if you win a team fight.
Yeah, Razor's a little bit more, I would say his strength is spread out throughout the entire game, whereas Viper is a lot more focused in the early mid stage. Like Viper in the early laning phase, he's probably going to win his lane, and then once he gets a Viper strike, he could go around and just kill pretty much anyone he wants. So there's a small difference between the heroes, but ultimately I would say both the heroes, as far as the role they serve for their team, kind of similar.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to see what Armata Gaming are going to pick up for their next pick. Doom and Shadow Shaman and Skywrath Mage are probably your prime suspects for the second pick, but maybe they have something else in mind.
I sure hope they do. Getting kind of tired of the same old, same old. Like, I'm really happy that THD picked up the Viper first. Maybe, just maybe, they're going to be going for something a little bit out of the ordinary with that, but Viper's still a pretty common pickup, so can't really read too much into it, or else we'll end up just wasting a lot of breath and a lot of time.
Of course. Well, both teams are taking their time with these first couple of picks, eating into the reserve time. It's fairly uncommon to see that, especially with these first couple of picks. Usually teams know what they're going to get, and well, Shadow Shaman going to be the pickup from Armata Gaming, no surprises there.
It's one of the support heroes that's a little bit difficult to deal with, especially if he gets a quick level 6. And ooh, THD with the Vengeful Spirit instantly in response. What do you think about this one?
I like Vengeful Spirit as a hero. I think she's pretty solid all around. Playing her from behind can be a bit of a hassle, and it's interesting to see her picked up so early on. Usually you wait until there's something else on the field that you really want the Vengeful Spirit up against, like the Batrider or Faceless Void, as a defensive pick. But on the dire side, the minus armor as well as the bonus damage aura is going to be very useful for taking Roshan for their team. I don't know, I think it's solid, but I think you could have waited until a little bit later on.
That's, I would say, right on the money, and it is going to be pretty good with the Viper in the sense that Viper will benefit a lot from both of the two more passive effects from the Vengeful Spirit, in that she will increase the damage that Viper's doing by a lot. Also, if Vengeful Spirit does want to roam early on with whatever other support THD want to pick up, having a place stun in that magic missile is going to be very, very useful, especially when you're going to be ganking someone like a Razor.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, these next couple of bans are really going to be what's going to start flavoring this draft, although for the first couple they should be fairly conventional. I don't know, really it's whoever has the first pick coming out of the second banning stage, it's really going to tip the scales as far as how this game is actually going to play out, because as it stands, both teams have a core that can kind of be played in most lineups, as well as a support that's pretty solid all around as well.
Yeah, Boreal do get that first pick after the banning phase, as you mentioned before, and well, it seems like THD want to focus on supports that Boreal could possibly pick up. I would say that the strongest ban for them probably going to be the Skywrath, especially when combined with the Shadow Shaman. But wouldn't be surprised to see someone like a Rubik as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm entirely on board with the Sand King ban. I think Shadow Shaman and Sand King's a fairly greedy supporting duo. Although they have a lot of lockdown, if you have another CC spell in lane, you definitely can get kills. But more often than not, you're just going to have Shadow Shaman pulling and Sand King farming up the jungle early. They have a pretty big issue getting in range for their lockdown spells early on, especially before they get boots, and before Sand King gets up his early levels. But Scarth Mage is going to be taken out by Armata Gaming instead.
The Sand King's Shadow Shaman's a very, I would say, greedy support lineup. Like, you need someone to actively poke at the lane, and Shadow Shaman, not really the best hero to do that, especially when you compare him to someone like a Skywrath Mage, where Skywrath Mage is, I would say, by far the best hero at poking at the enemy in lane. So the two certainly can play well together, but oftentimes it's just a little bit more awkward than it's worth. But Skywrath Mage is going to be the ban out from Boreal. And, well, they could have taken that one for themselves, but it looks like they're having some other plans for their third pick, aside from that support.
I don't know, the rest of this draft should proceed very quickly, as neither team is really going to have any reserve time to speak of, as the house is down to about 15 seconds, and about 30 on Armata Gaming, so I don't know, this rest of this draft could go by, like, that, but I don't know, we'll have to see. Earthshaker banned out, so the house is down is focusing very heavily on support blink initiators. Earthshaker, all around just a really solid support. He combos better with the Shadow Shaman early on. With the long range of the Fissure, you can get in range for the Shackles a lot easier.
All right, so with that Earthshaker ban, what do you think that they're both teams are going to pick up? Just because you said they're going to go so quickly, what are your very quick predictions?
5 seconds.
I have no idea. They could go in a lot of directions. It would be a lot easier after seeing these third picks, but Doom's banned out, no big surprises there. Let's see. Another support that would work well with Boreal. I don't know. Off the top of my head, nothing really just screams this would be amazing.
I'm going to guess Ancient Apparition. Damn. Well, maybe next time.
Fire's pick.
Yeah, well, they will pick up the Centaur Warrior for their offlane. A solid offlaner. A great initiator, and since Tidehunter has already been banned out, probably one of the top tier offlaners, especially on the Radiant side, where laning's a little bit easier. And the offlaner for the House is Down is going to be that Nature's Prophet.
Looks like the House is Down is actually going to go for a little bit more of a mid-game focused build with the Viper Nature's Prophet. They'll be able to make a little bit of action happen a little bit earlier on. Boreal, though, do have the War Runner, so they will have access to that Stampede, a pretty useful tool for Shadow Shaman, especially before he gets his Blink Dagger, i.e. before the 30-minute mark. Being able to Stampede into someone into a Hex is probably the best initiation you're going to get so far from Boreal, until, of course, Centaur gets his Blink Dagger.
5 seconds.
Yep. I don't know, they have some pretty good tools for catching out this Nature's Prophet, so he definitely needs to be careful when he's out split pushing. We might even be seeing a Blink Dagger on the Nature's Prophet, so he can make sure that he's safe whilst pushing those lanes. Yeah, I don't know, still not a whole lot being said about these drafts. They have some decent fighting potential, some decent all-around picks. I don't know, just not really anything that screams straight up push. We're going to want to 5-man down towers, we're going to want to take a lot of team fights early, or we're just going to want to sit back and
5
turtle.
seconds.
I think the House is Down. They definitely have the freedom of going for someone like a Death Prophet or going deeper into the pushing route. Just with the Nature's Prophet and Vengeful Spirit, you get a lot of early game damage if they do want to do that. The minus armor will, of course, help a lot if they do want to go for Roshan from Wave of Terror. And, well, you have an exorcism on top of that. The Roshan is going to drop really quickly. But for now, Boreal are going to pick up their final core hero, and it's going to be the Luna.
Yeah, Luna wouldn't have been a pick that I would have minded if the House of Down went for it. Or House is Down, excuse me. But Luna all around just pretty solid carry. The mini stun on the Lucent Beam will help Shadow Shaman in lane, bridge the gap, and try to catch out this Nature's Prophet early on. Which is decent, I suppose. I don't know, Luna's fallen off very hard in favor of a lot of other carries that either get online quicker or get online harder. I don't know. The Chen pick from the House is Down is a little bit peculiar. The Chen timing for his push is a little bit different than you'd see from Enchantress. It's not going to be incredibly early game, but it does look like they are going for that mid-game timing, as you were talking about earlier.
Well, I think because of that Chen pick, Boreal are going to be a little bit more happy that they picked up a Luna as their carry as opposed to something a little bit harder. She gets online once she hits level 6, and even before then, having a couple Lucent Beams or just the additional damage from Lunar Blessing makes Luna one of the more potent early game carries, though she does have a little bit of an awkward phase in the mid game. They are going to be pushed, however, and right now, Boreal, they don't exactly have that many great tools to deal with this push. They have AoE in the Plasma Field and the Shock from the Shadow Shaman, but that's about it.
Pretty much sums it up. I don't know, Luna's ultimate's going to be a bit interesting to get off in a 5-on-5 team fight, with all of the summons coming out with the Nature's Prophet as well as a Chen, but last pick Meepo and last pick Alchemist. These 5th picks came out very quickly and, I don't know, just kind of hit me by surprise.
All right, so Meepo is always a hard hero to evaluate because he plays a very niche role in Dota. That's why we see him very rarely. He plays a niche role, plus you need the technical skill to actually play him. As far as pushing is concerned, Meepo will certainly benefit a lot from the gold, but if they do group up and push, Meepo will need to somehow keep up in experience.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, it's interesting to see a Meepo pick here, as they have a lot of tools in order to take down that Meepo. Usually you'd like to see a lot of single target damage, but I don't know, there's a lot of spread as well coming out from Boreal, and with a Blink Dagger on the center, it's going to be very easy to burst down this Meepo clones, unless he absolutely gets off of the floor very quickly, gets an early Ags, and maybe even a Reaver online.
And Centaur Warrunner Stampede will also make it difficult for Meepo to chase people down with that Geo Strike. Of course, the nets will always be a little bit relevant, but Centaur in general is just a great hero to have versus Meepo. He's really beefy, and Double Edge does a lot of damage.
Yeah, I don't know, despite Meepo's extra magic resist, it doesn't really help you when there's that much damage coming out. This last pick, Alchemist, is kind of peculiar coming out from Boreal. This looks like it's going to be a supporting Alchemist. Oh, I'm not the hugest fan of it. I don't know, they're going to need to lead off with the Alchemist stun, and it's going to be a little bit hard to do so. I'd like to see Rolo start it with the boots first. But that said, I'll go ahead and introduce the Radiant side. We are going to have Armata Gaming or Boreal playing on the Radiant, with Jaw taking up to carry Luna with the Razor, played by Monkeys Forever, presumably going towards mid, with Footstep being taken up the Shadow Shaman, Jolly Joker on the offlane Centaur, and that will leave Rolo on the Alchemist.
The House's downside, we have playing the Vengeful Spirit going towards the bottom lane for now. It's going to be Boogaroo on that hero. Liposa is going to be on the Viper as it stands going up towards the top lane. Vestius is going to be playing the Chen Yuka on the Nature's Prophet, and Jubilu is going to be handling the mid lane Meepo. He's got the goggles for it, but it's going to be a very difficult lane.
Yeah, I don't know, up against a Razor, he should be able to zone out this Meepo fairly effectively. Once he gets level 3, they definitely can gank this lane, and even before so, if they get a good creep on the Chen. With the Vengeful Spirit and the smoke up. No, do either of them have a smoke? You know, not a huge fan of this choice. I think if you're a Chen, you can definitely afford to get that early on. And maybe even forego going for the Tangos and just let the Vengeful Spirit help out the Meepo with that extra regen. It's okay, but I think the extra aggression would be nice coming out from them to help out this Meepo in lane especially.
Yeah, as a Chen, you don't really need anything to jungle, really, as long as you're lucky and get a good creep and don't have mud golems everywhere, don't have all your camps blocked. You should be fine no matter what. I would like to see a smoke as well, but hey, what's done is done. They do have boots on the Vengeful Spirit, so maybe they're just going to rely on the Vengeful Spirit to get in there really quick and lay that stun down. But I'd just like to go back for a little bit and talk about this Alchemist pick. I think this is somewhat in response to the pushing that they see from THD. The asset spread is certainly useful, but being played as a support, he's not going to have the levels to make it a truly useful counter push skill.
Yeah, for sure. Usually as a support alchemist, you're going to be prioritizing that concoction more, and you're also not going to be able to get those levels up early. As a support alchemist, especially if you don't get online, get a lot of kills in the early game, you're going to fall behind the experience because as played as a support, he's not going to be able to farm incredibly quickly until you have access to the ancient camps once you get a couple of levels up in that acid spray. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to hit his timing properly, but for now, that's still yet to be seen.
We see some really good de-warding of these, or warding of these camps from Boreal. They've blocked 3 camps thus far, making it a little bit more difficult for Chen to find a camp. Fortunately for him, though, he finds literally the best possible creep in the one of the only camps that were available to him. So Chen is going to be relatively okay with that, but I think he does have sentries. No, he doesn't have sentries, just a smoke. So they are looking to go aggressive early on with this Chen and VS combo. Really, really fortunate to find a centaur and not mud golems.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's really not a place for Chen to jungle in his own jungle, especially with Venge going boots first. They don't have the gold to buy those sentries to deward those camps, so he's not going to have any large camps available to him. But as you said, with the Centaur, now they're looking to make an aggressive move onto the Centaur Warrunner, and let's see if Jolly Joker is going to get caught out here.
Well, he already used all of his mana using this one hoof stomp, because centaurs aren't exactly the smartest around. Double Edge not up, return is up, but it looks like they're instead going to smoke and head towards the mid lane. Monkeys Forever, he gets netted down. Oh, the net's going to miss first and foremost, so Monkeys should be fine, although the magic missile will be thrown. I don't think the centaur can get in. No, with another net, they will be able to burst him down with the poof. Monkeys Forever is going to be your first blood as Meepo picks it up.
Yeah, Chen wasn't even necessary there. The double poof coming out from the Meepo was just so strong in the damage department. Unfortunately, wasn't able to connect with that first net, but with those boots on the Vengeful Spirit, she was able to get the range just barely that she needed. So yeah, that's going to sum up the damage here in the mid lane as, well, Meepo picking up a very early level 3, and now level 4, he's off to a good start.
And now a haste rune on the Vengeful Spirit. Chen is also in the area. They're going to look for probably the Luna if they could get their hands on her. The question is, who can they get? They're going to go for the Luna. There's the Magic Missile to open up, and the Centaur stun. Going to be right on point. They're going to bring down this Luna. The question is, can they bring down this Alchemist? Now, Yuka's taking some pretty heavy damage, but he's going to stand and fight Rolo, getting really body blocked by these treants. Rolo's going to try to hide in the trees, but the haste rune from the VS going to help her circle around, and Rolo should just be right-clicked down. He's going to try to hide, but I don't think he's going to get out. Boogaroo, get in there. He's going to get shackled up, and Vistius is still working with that Centaur. Futsi as well as the Alchemist are both going to drop very low. Rolo gets a stun off onto Boogaroo, but Rolo should be dead in the meantime. The Luna going to chase down the Chen up north. Boogaroo did secure the kill on that Alchemist, and now can he dig his way out? Looks like he does have a free path as Ja is going to walk home with only 1 kill, but THD ultimately take a really good exchange there.
Yeah, 3 for 1 in the bottom lane. Absolute bloodbath. It looks like it was eventually completely wiped. As a Shadow Shaman, everybody died once apiece, only getting the 1 kill in return. So, yeah, Bowser's down is looking strong to start out this game.
Very crucially, they did manage to snag the Luna kill early on, so it's going to slow her down from any Midas if she did want to go for that, though I don't even know if she was going to. Most likely it's going to be the Aquila, but for now she's just going to be a little bit sad with that death, and Vestius plus Boogaroo, they're going to look for round 2 on the mid lane. If the Razor gets hit with the net, he might just die. Still, they have level 3 poof now, so the burst damage is going to be even higher. Only level 1 Magic Missile, though. Vengeful Spirit going to go a little bit more into Wave of Terror.
Yeah, on the dire side, especially maxing out Wave of Terror can be wonderful. They refreshed their Centaur up in the jungle, which was necessary as it was completely out of mana. No way to sustain with no Arcane Boots. And now the wraparound onto the Razor begins. Will they be able to bring it up with the net coming out from the Meepo? It looks like they will be able to. With the follow-up Magic Missile and Hoof Stomp, too much damage going his way. Chen KS's that a little bit with the Test of Faith.
Rolo comes in already shaking the Unstable Concoction, but unfortunately for him, he's only level 2 Alchemist, so even if he did get everyone with that stun, he actually couldn't have done anything with it. And wow, another double damage rune being spotted by Meepo. This Chen and Vengeful Spirit Roam combination has been absolutely devastating. Unfortunately, the Vengeful Spirit is currently 50 in mana away from another Magic Missile. Still can cast Wave of Terror, but there we go, bottling up. So now Rolo in a very awkward position as the Chen is going to just barely be out of range. Yes, that was barely out of range, but now they're going to go in and they spot Rolo. And they're going to go in. Rolo, wake up, man. There's a Magic Missile. Centaur stun is going to land as well. Is there any follow-up damage from the Meepo? There's the net plus the poof. Easy kill. Once again, this time going for the Chen. He's gotten 4 kills this far. Vengeful Spirit has only gotten 1.
Yeah, that's just something you usually don't see, but this aggressive rotation coming out from the Chen is absolutely paying off. I don't know, usually you don't see that from Chen, and it's more the Enchantress that's able to get the early aggression off. Meepo falling very low to the Razor. Will he die? He will! One more smack from the Whip. Monkeys Forever gets a very well-needed kill onto the Meepo.
Yeah, the Meepo forgot just a little bit to respect the Razor. I mean, Razor, though he has died a couple times, he's still level 6, and a level 6 Razor could put out some really serious hurt, especially with that Plasma Field. If he hits on the edge, it does a lot of damage now that it's level 4. But, oh, wait, we're going in for another round as Rolo finally going to place an Observer Ward, hopefully try to keep his mid lane safe, hopefully try to keep himself safe. But, yeah, I think the Chen play is a little bit uncharacteristic, but certainly very effective. He's not getting the most levels out of this, though he is getting quite a bit of gold.
Yep, Rolo, man fighting up against the chicken, but now the Tornado is just going to turn on him, and Rolo needs to be careful. If they do rotate in, he's going to take a lot of harass from this. He's just not damaging it fast enough.
I think Tornado versus level 3 Alchemist is a matchup that Alchemist won't die from, but Tornado should definitely do some pretty good damage because Tornado is a really good hero.
Absolutely. Well, this top matchup, we haven't looked at it for quite a while. I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of the Centaur's build, but then again, I'm not a huge fan of Leposa's build. Centaur went for Return in this lane, which means he's always going to proc the Corrosive Skin whenever the Viper auto-attacks him. So in this situation, getting a couple extra points in Corrosive Skin might be very useful. I think you only need 2 in Nether Toxin. He opts for 1 more in Poison Attack, but I think the extra point in Corrosive Skin could be just as effective, if not more.
I guess he figures that Corrosive Skin more defensive skill, and he's not going to be under much pressure this game, so you might as well go for everything that does plus damage. Stampede on the bottom lane. Yuka is going to get caught out. They have another Lucent Beam, and Yuka is going to sprout himself, but the Glaive was already in the air. It's a free kill for the Luna down on bottom.
Yeah, definitely putting that early point into the Centaur ultimate to good use. As Jolly Joker solo up against the Viper is not able to get that much farm. Only sitting at about 10 CS here at 6 minutes in, but is able to get his level 6 because, yeah, Viper can zone him decently well, but under tower at least he's able to secure himself some good experience.
Yeah, that level 2 Nether Toxin, level 2 Poison is a rather aggressive build, and well, Viper's actually gone for a perfectly balanced build, so that's a little bit uncharacteristic, but hey, whatever works, right? Vengeful Spirit, in the meantime, has picked up an Invisibility Rune. He's looking for the mid lane. Rolo's a little bit weak, but Meepo has to cross a lot of distance if he actually wants to initiate in this fight. But meantime, top, a teleportation from Yuka, and Jolly Joker is going to chop him down, double edge. Still does a lot of damage, Nature's Prophet. You got to respect that. It's going to be a 1-for-1, but Centaur gets all the experience from that kill.
Yeah, I don't know, Centaur should be fairly happy with that, although that is going to propel the Viper to quite large heights. He has the Aquila and well on his way towards Mac is in mid with the double poofs. They will be able to bring down the Razor fairly easily.
Really easy rotation from Boogaroo. Very patient with that invisibility. Just waited until there was no Alchemist in the area and then just went for it. Meantime, bottom lane, Eclipse has been used though, doing absolutely nothing. Treant's taking that one for their master. Now a Sprout onto Footsie. This Stampede is going to get everyone out. In the meantime, top lane, Stampede is going to be initiating onto Leposa. They already used the double edge, but Viper going to try to salve and TP perhaps. I don't know where he's going. He's going to try to fight this one out with Jolly Joker. Another double edge. Leposa is going to get stunned out. And, well, it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. This time, well, Centaur again going to get the upper hand in that. Rolo, though, getting chased down with the Urn Charge on him. He's going to burn to death slowly but surely. Boogaroo cleaning up on top lane.
Suddenly level 7 on your support Vengeful Spirit at about 8 minutes, and after getting experience for both of those 2 kills. Meepo's falling fairly low inside the jungle. What do you think Meepo's build is going to be this game? He's stored himself quite a lot of gold. Is he just going to be rushing straight towards that Ags, or are we going to see an early blink on Meepo?
I mean, he's holding 400 more than Blink, so I would have assumed that if he was going for Blink, he would have picked it up already. But in the meantime, Vestius is in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get chased down by the Raze.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, as he just got nuked down by the Satyr Tormentor there. Aggroing that with the Plasma Field, ended up stealing the kill, and, well, now, more action onto the Nature's Prophet. Not enough mana for the Ether Shock. Will the right clicks be there? Juking through the trees, Nature's Prophet has a mana for a TP. Don't think he's going to get out there. One more is all he needed, but Futsa should die to the Nether Toxin damage coming up from Leposa.
But now Leposa is actually completely surrounded. I don't think he knows it either. Here comes Rolo with the stun. He will throw it. Acid Spray a little bit too late to get that extra damage, but Leposa in a very awkward position is going to turn and fight with the Viper Strike onto this Luna. Can he bring down this Luna before he himself goes to go down? He's not taking any damage, actually. He will be able to kill off one and then get swapped out by Boogaroo. That early level 6 coming into great use. Leposa will get stampeded on. He will get another kill, a triple kill for Leposa. Can Jolly Joker even kill him? Boogaroo does not have another stun. Leposa will get healed up in the corner with the Sprout. Jolly Joker can't get the kill. Leposa gets an ultra kill on the bottom lane. Viper's a good hero, guys.
Yeah, that maxed out corrosive skin paying out in, I don't know, spades there, just keeping him alive so long throughout that engagement. The stun wasn't long enough duration from the Alchemist to really get enough damage there. Maybe if he held onto it, they would have been able to kill Leposa, but in the end, an ultra kill and nothing happening on the side of Boreal. Yeah, this Meepo ends up finishing his PTs and then picks up the Ogre Club, presumably towards the Aghanim Scepter. And now a Tier 1 tower going their way as well. This early game, the house is down, is taking down the house. I don't know, let's see. Serpent Ward's in mid, onto the Tier 1 tower, and Nature's probably will be able to farm up a couple of these, but the Tier 1 tower should fall one way or another. Whether it's denied or not is another story, and with the TP in, I'd expect this to be denied, or, well, they're not even going to commit to this after all of the support coming in.
Leposa is just such a devastating hero right now. Mech with strength treads. 10 minutes into the game, it's a good farm on anyone. The 6 kills certainly helps, but again, Viper in this early mid stage, we were talking about it in the draft, it's hard to beat him if he does get his job done right in lane, and versus a Centaur, it's very hard to lose that lane as a Viper, and well, such an early mech is going to mean that THD can go for that early pushing. Now, the only bad thing is that Chen is only level 5. Somehow, Vengeful Spirit has been getting all the experience from all those kills, and Chen has kind of been left back. But, hey, what are you going to do? They have the mech, so they could go for pushes regardless.
Yeah, and Chen takes himself up a Tier 1 tower in the top lane. Well, what do you think Chen's build is going to be this game? He has 2,000 gold saved up. The Viper went for the mechanism, so he won't be needed for that. I kind of want to see a Medallion, but I think the time for Medallion's almost over.
Yeah, it's another one of those items that if he was going for, he probably would have picked it up by now, I would say. A Force Staff would be certainly a very useful item, get people out of hexes and stuff like that. He could just straight up rush in Aghanims. That would also not be the most craziest thing in the world.
Yeah, I know, we usually don't see Aghanims on Chen, especially not this early on in the game, but I definitely wouldn't be opposed to that. It would help them push down towers very effectively. As in mid, we have Sprout on the Razor. He did single target that one, taking a lot of damage in return. Net, not going to cancel that. Quite a ways away before he was able to cast that.
In the meantime, bottom lane, they're going to catch the Luna with a couple of Meepo poofs and Boogaroo, just doing Boogaroo things. Meepo is going to find another easy kill on this Luna. And, well, THD, they're finding kills all around the map, and most importantly, I think they're denying Luna any sort of space. She has Morbid Massacring and Basilius Power Treads 11 minutes in. Compare that to the Viper. It's really gruesome, this disparity.
Yep, I don't know, TP and mid from Nature's Prophet. Looks like they want to just 5-man down this tower with the Chen, as well as his army, Nature's Prophet and his Treants, as well as the Mechanism online. I don't think there's really anything that's going to stop them, but they might try. They will start spamming out the wave with Plasma Field. He's going to be sprouted up in the back lines. They're not going to be able to eat through that. He's netted down as well. Hex on the Leposa, but the damage coming out from Poofs is too much, and Meepo's going to be able to right-click down the Razor on the back lines. We have a stun going on to Boogaroo, but Boogaroo is still so tanky with that extra strength thing. That heal comes out from the Chen, but they're just focused down everybody. This Meepo is going crazy, as is Leposa. Rolo, as well as Jolly Joker, caught inside the trees. They get the vision. He's channeling up another stun, going to throw that the way of Leposa. Where's the backup? The Serpent Wards are down behind the tower. They're not really doing much. It looks like this fight is going to wear down, but no, Jolly Joker being pursued by Leposa with that guaranteed slow coming up from the corrosive skin. He should be able to chase this one down one way or another. Stick charge is not going to save you there. And now Rolo also stunned up behind the tower. 7-19, almost 7-20. Let's see if Rolo's going to get the 9. No, he's not going to hold on to it, and now he's going to be cleaned up by the Nature's Prophet. Now the Serpent Wards and Tier 1 tower should also go down. An absolutely devastating fight, but the Razor's joining back in. The Viper's going to fall low. He gets the link off onto the Meepo, but they're just too fast. And now they should be able to turn potentially onto the Razor. I don't know, the net comes out from Meepo. Where the Poofs stand? Will they be able to give him the stun with Shadow Shaman? He's going to fall way too quickly, really. And the Plasma Field comes out. Leposa really needs to back off. He throws the Viper Strike and one more Lucid Beam. That's a huge streak going the way of the Luna. Luna's in here. She needs to get the heck out, as Jaw is just too darn squishy to hang up against the burst damage coming out from them, and this fight's just not really stopping as they're going into this Tier 1 tower. Will it be denied? Centaur and Nature's Treants, will be denied by the Luna as the stun is too late, but the Meepo's coming in with the nets onto Jaw. The Centaur ultimate's already been coming. Does he have another net? Does he have another net? No, the Poofs are going to be enough. As a stun gets thrown up by the Alchemist, they just never stop. I think that's going to be the end, but Jolly Joker, he's trying to chase down Festus here, as the Vengeful Spirit's also here. She has the mana for the swap or the stun. She's not level 11, she is. Put that point in, so you can get that extra range with the TP in from Nature's Prophet, probably going to make that unnecessary, as the Magic Missile should be enough to get this kill. And my goodness, I have no idea what the kill score was in that fight, but I think that Boreal only got 1.
Yeah, I started counting when the fight looked like it was going to be obnoxiously long. My count was 1 kill going the way of Boreal and something like 9-ish for THD. It might have been more. I didn't really start counting in the very beginning. I thought we'd be able to wrap that fight off very quickly, but clearly these teams have other ideas. But the sustain from Meepo, with the Chen sending him home and the Viper just going to town on everyone, so tanky, so impossible for Boreal to kill. There's no way that you can say Boreal took anything in that fight. They only got the Viper.
Yeah, I don't know, now Roshan's going to fall incredibly fast. They don't even use the Hell coming up from the Vengeful Spirit. Meepo gets himself an Aegis. And yeah, a synergy that I haven't seen before is that Meepo with the Chen. Using that very effectively. I haven't really seen that this early on inside a game. But it's effectively
double
just the
Meepo.
boots of travel. Yeah, just going to rip to shreds the Luna, and now the Razor in a bit of trouble. The Nets are going to be off the mark, and, well, it looks like he is going to lose the Aegis at the very least. The Centaur is also here looking for the stun. Will he be able to find it? Where's the backup for this Meepo? They don't have it, but he might be able to turn on him with the double edge. They're doing a lot of damage. They're trying to focus down the one Meepo, but with the Chen heal, as well as good micro, he should be able to get out to safety. No, the Razor Eye of the Storm is going to focus him down. Too much damage going on. Now the Nature's Prophet looks like he's also going to feed away his life. There's not enough mana on both of these to chase him down completely, and now the Chen army's coming in. That's 2 Centaurs, stomp 1, and they will have a secondary stomp to come through. Well microed, it will just stack perfectly. As now the Vengeful Spirit's rotating in, and on to Monkeys Forever. They should be able to lock him down. Oh no, Rolo's in the midst of it. He's not really that tanky, as we have a Radiant Courier dying somewhere. I think it was the Vengeful Spirit that was able to pick that one up, but I'm not entirely sure. Let's see, nothing was on it. Where did it die? It died here. Nature's Prophet was able to TP and get that one.
Classic Nature's Prophet play right there, but yeah, the Meepo getting a little bit overconfident. He ended up taking like a 1v4-ish in the end. Oh, TP back in this mid lane. Nature's Prophet, careful, man. But Meepo ended up losing both of his lives in that Aegis and THD. They got to make sure to not take fights like that. They have to respect the fact that Boreal do still have a Razor with a mech, and even though they have more THD, the Razor with mech is still a substantial hero. But they find a free Luna. Only level 1 Eclipse. Leposa ate this one all by himself in the last fight, and this time I don't think this Satyr is going to do any denying action.
Yep, throws out the nuke a little bit too late for that one. And yeah, in the end, they didn't even need any backup. Leposa pretty much soloed the Luna. Without a TP available, there's no way she's getting out from that one alive. So yeah, I don't know, this Vengeful Spirit has absolutely been playing out of his or her mind. I have no idea, but Boogaroo, much props. He's at net worth comparable to the Razor as well as the Luna with the 4-staff Arcanes, Urn of Shadows, as well as what looks like the not sure what he's going to be building. Oh, that's just a TP scroll. That's pretty boring. As Meepo finishes up his completed Aghanim Scepter and Blink at almost 1645.
We got some really impressive play from the Vengeful Spirit. The Chen has been playing pretty well on top of that. We were asking what items he was going to build. The answer is actually going to be the pipe. So mostly blocking out a lot of the Centaur damage, especially that double edge.
Oh,
now
swap onto Rolo into the Radiant Jungle and with the poofs. Yeah, too much damage.
Easy kill on Rolo. Really, there's nothing you could do as an alchemist. Didn't even have enough time to pop off Chemical Rage. This Meepo is, well, he's maxed out on his Divided We Stand, so there's going to be a really large army of rats running around. And, well, so far we've seen that Jubilu is certainly capable of microing his Meepo, and I think at this point Boreal might even want to respect ban this for the next game.
Yeah, up in top, TP away from the Nature's Prophet. He was able to make it all alive because Plasma Field was already used. No way to get vision inside those trees, and no Tangos reserved. As the Tier 2 tower is going to fall fairly easily to THDs, there's just nothing in there to defend. And even if they jumped into it, that's jumping into 5 Meepos, a full Chen army, a Viper, as well as a very fed Vengeful Spirit. So I don't know. Map control's just going to start falling around for Boreal.
Yeah, Boreal really lacked the AoE to deal with this type of, we're going to get every single body in the game and just throw them at you. And, you know, then sustain them with Chen, Hand of God, the mech, and everything like that. THD take a really easy tower on the bottom lane. I think they could just rotate through all the lanes and do that exact same thing over and over again. I mean, they have a 3-to-1 kill advantage over Boreal. There is a very, very, very slim chance that they drop a fight in a poor fashion. Now with an Aghanims up on Viper, he was unkillable before, and now he's going to have just as much threat to complement that.
Yeah, and with this Chen pipe, I think they'll be able to break high ground very easily as well. I think they'll go about systematically. But yeah, I don't know, Chemical Rage popped by the Alchemist. I'm not even sure if you want to be standing that close, Rolo, as with the Vengeful Spirit there with the level 2 swap and Force Staff, she could jump you.
They should know that the Vengeful Spirit does have that level 2 swap, but even if she doesn't, they should know that she has a Force Staff. So Force Staff swap, not as impressive as level 2 swap, obviously, but certainly is a great way to kill off an Alchemist really, really quickly. But I think that would actually hurt THD more in the end if they end up sacking their Vengeful Spirit in order to get that swap out. This Vengeful Spirit has been on point with the defensive swaps, so I think they're going to be just fine with playing it slow, playing it safe, and having Yuka work down top lane while the rest of THD just chilled near mid.
Yeah, Yuka, we haven't really seen much of him from this game. I mean, a lot of good TP plays as well as getting that career kill, and, well, yeah, just not as active as the Chen or Vengeful Spirit, but quietly he's been able to farm up. He goes for the Force Staff as well as the Maelstrom, so a lot more utility than straight up carrying, but the way they're playing this, I think this is definitely suiting out the playstyle. He can push out lanes a lot faster. As in mid lane, they start auto-attacking onto the Viper, but the Centaur gets a nice jump in on the Chen. He gets the mech off coming out from the Viper, and, well, they should be able to eat through these super wards. It's on the backlines. The Luna Eclipse just isn't doing enough to the Meepo, or will it be, as they're focusing on one, getting a lot of very lucky bounces there. They will be able to focus the Meepo down as Chen. He has the Hand of God. They're force staffing away. He should be just fine. Yeah, so in the end, 2 for Meepo, and the buyback on the Shadow Shaman, I think, is the cost of that engagement.
That was a really awkward engagement for THD right there. Actually, they're not done quite yet. Leposa
Force Staff
open up on Rolo, and then Force Staff into a Magic Missile will secure that kill. Now Monkeys Forever is almost completely body blocked. He's going to go down. Beautiful play from Yuka. We just said we didn't see much of him, but suddenly he's busting out big plays. Now swap back onto Jolly Joker with the Magic Missile follow-up. Leposa is going to go to town with that level 4 Nether Toxin. That's an easy couple of kills for THD, and I was just about to say it was a really awkward initiation for the first fight because they got Nether swap in on Razor, which is not the person you want to swap in, but hey, they end up taking a good fight, so I guess no harm, no foul for them.
All said and done, that was a complete team wipe with a buyback on the Shadow Shaman for a Meepo and Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet died at the very end, unfortunately, because the Chen was only a split second behind on the Hand of God. But now your tier tower is also going to fall down, and THG just have a massive farm lead at this point. I don't really want to look at the graphs, even though we haven't throughout the rest of this game, as they've pretty much been fighting non-stop at almost 2 kills a minute. But yeah, pretty much as expected, about 17,000 in the favor of THG in the gold department, and even more in the experience. A lot of that's due to the Meepo, but all of their other heroes are not too shabby either, as they send back the Vengeful Spirit, but she's going to be stunned, and, well, eventually sent back.
Yeah, slow and steady methodical push from THD, I think, is what they want to do right now. Meepo has finished up Boots of Travel, so he's going to be holding 2 boots, 1 for each foot, obviously, because that only makes sense for Jubilee. He's going to be split pushing all over the map. Him, plus the Nature's Prophet, who has gone for one of the trademark split pushing items with that Maelstrom. So THD, they're going to slowly suffocate Boreal of resources, and, well, this is actually working out pretty well because the Luna from Boreal is pretty damn useless at this point. Really, it's just Monkeys Forever that's doing any of the damage.
Yeah, pretty much, and even the Razor, he just falls too quickly. He has the mech and an Ogre Club, but that's about it. That's okay to take a little bit of the damage, but just the AoE coming out from THD with the poofs, as well as just the damage that he's going to be taking from the Viper's corrosive skin, and all of that is just going to be too much for him to really deal with in 5-on-5 engagement. As Viper Strike goes on to Monkeys up in top lane. They don't TP in the Nature's Prophet, but now they do. Well, I don't know, just a little bit of miscommunication as he should be caught out, and they're going to force staff him back. Centaur ultimate, they're trying to chase him down. The Centaur Hoof Stomp is going to be off the mark, as Annette would have caught out Jolly Joker if he continued that, but now he's going to be sprouted up and could be in a bit of trouble. The Nature's Prophet falling low. The poofs are doing so much damage to Jolly Joker. He's going to die to the Viper after throwing out a Spite Double Edge. So in the end, just 1 pick off as the stun goes out to one of the Meepos as well as the Viper. Shadow Shaman going to die on the backline. Didn't see where that was happening, but that is Boogaroo doing Boogaroo things. His roll is going to be slowed down. The poofs in from the Meepo. That's 5, and another swap onto Monkeys Forever. Monkeys Forever should be focused down. The Luna Ultimate's going to do a lot of damage to Vengeful Spirit, as she did tank the majority of it, but Vengeful for 4, definitely a trade that THD are going to be happy with. And now another tier 2 tower should fall.
THD are just firing on all cylinders. I am so very impressed with this Vengeful Spirit pick, and now I kind of understand why they picked it up so highly. Boogaroo is playing this hero absolutely perfectly, throwing magic missiles where it's necessary, and then ignoring targets that are still alive in order to go for even more for the team with that level 2 swap. This Vengeful Spirit is seriously impressing me right now, and THD cleaning out all the outer tier 2 towers. Still, this Viper is only going to get a little bit stronger now that he hits level 16. Level 3 Viper Strike is up. Boreal, they're running out of options really quickly.
Yeah, now with the pipe on the Chen, they could just go straight up high ground here. They're not grouped up as a full group as Meepo's pushing bottom, as Viper's up top. Yeah, it looks like they're going to back off. Meepo can always just TP in or poof in, whatever the case may be. But for now, they are going to exert a little bit of caution and go into the Roshan pit, presumably.
Hey, it's a free Roshan. There's no way that Boreal will be able to crash this party without at least THD realizing that someone's gone. And even then, well, there's still one more Meepo. No, never mind. Meepo, they're all going to go to the Roshan pit. I was going to say they might want to split push a little bit during this, but hell, no need to do that because Roshan is getting absolutely ground up due to all of this Meepo damage. It's probably going to be an Aegis going toward the Meepo as it will. And, well, now that they're going to have all the momentum in the world to start to look for that high ground, and it looks like it's going to be on the bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, they could just go straight down mid and let Meepo split push with 2 of the clones. But it looks like they are just going to go as a 5-man unit and leave a couple of the Meepo clones behind in mid.
We do see a smoke up from the Boreal side. They're going to spot a double damage rune. That'll certainly help, but again, they're very, very far behind in the golden experience. It's upwards of 20,000, 25,000 for each category respectively. So they're going to need a lot more than a little bit of double damage in order to do anything, but the smoke is going to run out, and Jubilu is going to dispel that one. Can they burst down this Meepo? There's the stomp, plus a double edge, but actually the swap out from Boogaroo, once again saving his ally. Jolly Joker is going to be brought down first and foremost, and now in the back end, the Meepo still very much so alive, though is getting chased down by Monkeys Forever. The Hand of God is going to keep him alive. Monkeys Forever won't get anything. The rest of the Boreal heroes have just been eaten up by this tidal wave of THD heroes. GG has been called.
Yeah, definitely makes sense at this point in the game. This Meepo absolutely snowballed to victory. Much thanks to the Chen as well as the Vengeful Spirit in the early game. That roaming duo was absolutely amazing. They played very well, and honestly, I'm impressed by THD. I did not expect them to play that well, but they executed on point, and in the end, they're going to take a Game 1 victory.
Yeah, it's really easy to say, wow, Viper did everything that he was doing. He was amazing. Wow, the Meepo was amazing. But really, I think most of the credit, if not all the credit, should be going to Boogaroo and Vestius. The early game roam really just locked down the entire game for THD. Because again, if Meepo didn't have that roam, Razor would have walked all over him.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's going to be it for Game 1, but Game 2 coming up shortly, so don't go anywhere. This is HeflaTV 1 with Grandis V as well as Mike Loris, so see you soon, and we should have Game 2 coming up shortly. I don't think the lobby should take long to get into, so just hang tight.